There are certain public good, what I call public good in this thing. Yeah, and public good is always provided by government. you know, And I always say that if I'm a president, the very first area I'll tackle is agriculture, because if people can feed themselves, I'll have less problem. And it's a matter of prioritizing the fiscal allocation of resources. So that should not be a problem for government. I think we have to recognize agriculture as business. And so if you recognize as a business, then you will want to start it, as early as possible, not when you are on retirement. So you can do both by investing and allowing professional people to manage it for you. So when you are in retirement, you are not now going to start. You have already gotten to a certain level if you started much earlier. We all recognized the role agriculture plays in the various economies on the continent. The fact that, like somebody said, every day we all depend on food from the land, and it's important that we fashion policy to increase food production and food security on the continent. Why are commercial banks, or banks in particular, shying away from financing agriculture? I think the basic problem is the risk. And the question is, where are the areas of risk? Firstly, African agriculture depends on rain-fed. So the vagaries of the weather affect the yield and level of productivity. And for us to have answers to this in particular, we need to come out with more modern means of agriculture activity, so that you have more small dams. For example, in Ghana, the government decided that every district is going to have a dam, so that you can have all year round production. And then you also identify the high yielding products, to concentrate or emphasize on. You also have policy to support seed distribution, production and distribution, along the value chain. I think that one of the bane of finance and agriculture is the over concentration of segmented lending, not recognizing the value chain at all. So I think that one area is to promote value chain financing, and through that you address all the risks inherent along the value chain, and that way you get many banks coming on board. I think this is the way forward as I see it.